And we have joined the struggle with the neighborhood people to fight for what we think is right. That building should legally go back to the neighborhoods. It should become the multi-purpose center that it turned into for a while it was a university.
I am Carlos Martinez.
I'm Julia Patronite, and with our partner Jacob Perez-Soriano, we are Antes. This is our sophomore year, Architecture 6 final project at Texas A&M University under the professor Richard Jealous.
We chose the Spanish word for before in order to establish a connection between Rainey Street as it was before the Hispanic population was driven out due to businesses and corporations buying out land. In 1990 Rainey Street, there is a small population but high percentage of Hispanics. As time progressed and Rainey Street evolved, there was a massive population increase, and much of that Hispanic population was driven out. To find a solution to this problem, we looked towards the Mexican American Cultural Center. We believe creating a connection with the MAC would help give incentive for Hispanic population and culture to be brought back into Rainey Street.
Because we are trying to bring back the old Hispanic population, a lot of our programs in our building rely on interaction and participation. For example, we have a church, and this area is missing a walkable church, so it allows the current community to attend church services, but also an opportunity for the old community to make their way back.
This animation is just going to show our site's proximity to the MAC and help understand where we are in relation to Rainey Street. This proximity is a key reason why we wanted to work with the MAC. Moving on to structure, a key concept we wanted to include during our design process was this wrapping of the floor plates. Almost all of our floors are going to be interconnected to help create a cohesive design. And right here, our building's just going to finalize adding in all the details.
We've mentioned that we want to have a connection to the older neighborhood, so why is our building structured the way it is and not like the old neighborhood homes? Number one, we wanted to contrast the shapes of the nearby skyscrapers, hence the wrapping floor plates and columns. Number two, the floors and walls are interconnected, but allow space to see into floors below or above. This allows a feeling of being enclosed, but connected, like a neighborhood. This animation shows the interaction with the ground floor. The pedestrian pathways include the people coming from the MAC, the people coming from behind 70 Rainey and the rest of the Bar District on Rainey Street, and the people coming from the walking and bike trail that goes along Lady Bird Lake. As for vehicular transportation, there's a car drop-off coming from River Street, since a lot of people rely on Ubers, but if people choose to drive themselves, there's a car elevator that takes the car into an underground parking. This is an image of our program to show the relationship. Underground parking at the bottom, bar section right under the lobby. Above the lobby is the vendor spaces. Above that is the mall section with boutiques under the food court. To separate the spiritual zone of the church, there is a garden entrance and space, then the church, then the classrooms and play areas that can be connected by the church community, and finally the rooftop lounge. This animation shows how the building is used throughout the day. An earlier comment we received is that the building was only used during the day on the weekends, especially with the church and the vendor spaces. However, in the final design, there are 3 interchangeable spaces to allow maximum use. The church space can be changed to an auditorium for TED Talks and other presentations, and later into a theater to watch movies. Once the vendor spaces clean up and move out, that space can be changed into an open field to play games like soccer, since that floor is grass. And the first floor of the car parking can be changed into a speakeasy to maximize use at night.
This animation will take us through our solution for shading and lighting in Antes. To fill the voids left by our perforations, we chose to use spinning sunshades that were open and closed based on the time of day, use of space, and amount of sunlight. This sun animation will show us how the June and December sunlight will be hitting our building. These animations are going to play side by side to help give a better comparison between the two. One design feature we wanted to keep in mind to help with shading the front facade was to include transition glass, or glass that could change its opacity. And this is just a small physical representation of sunlight being scattered through the perforations in our walls. Okay, finally, we will be showing some key renders to help provide context as to how our building will be used. First, our lobby space, followed by our boutiques right under our church space. After that, our church space, which right now is just being used as a casual talking space. And finally, our rooftop lounge.
And I hope that these folks in this neighborhood get to keep their homes, and I hope that they'll build some low-income houses around this property here so that the folks that don't have very much will have a chance to enjoy this lake the same as the folks that have a lot of money.